Disney Cruise Line has bigger ships and smaller ships, and today I'm going to give you 10 reasons why the bigger ships are better than the smaller ships. Hey howdy, hey Disney Cruisers! I'm Ashley. Thank you so much for coming back to this channel. I am super excited about Disney cruising today. I don't know why, maybe it's because I got something in the mail, who knows? If you are a first timer here, then consider subscribing if you want to join in all the Disney Cruiser conversations that we have and learn a little bit about DCL and what you can expect for your cruise. I tell you all my secrets on this channel. And if this is not your first time at this channel, then give me a big like down below so everyone knows that you're here. Some of you die-hard Disney cruisers out there will know that I have posted a video about why these smaller ships are better than the bigger ships. But that doesn't mean that I like the smaller ships better. Maybe I don't like the bigger ships better. Who knows? Some of you know. I've told some of you. Today in this video, I'm going to tell you 10 reasons why I think that the larger ships, the Dream class, which is the Disney Dream and the Disney Fantasy, why they are better than these smaller ships. That doesn't mean that they are the best and you have to go on the larger ships. I'm just telling you what I like better about the larger ships compared to the smaller ships. So let's get started with cleanliness. I just posted a video on how Disney is so awesome about being clean. The video goes through how they clean your room twice a day and what you can expect from your room steward or your stateroom host. You can find that video here and I'll also link it down below. But there is something to be said about cleaning a ship that is a handful of years old compared to cleaning a ship that is decades old. Disney does keep their ships clean. Sparkling clean, so clean. They do also go into dry dock and they renovate certain things every couple of years. When they go into dry dock, sometimes they rip out carpets, sometimes they replace mattresses, sometimes they turn Carioca's into Rapunzels. However, there is one thing that really doesn't get changed that often, and that's kind of like the structural pieces of the ship that would be really hard to just keep updating. Therefore, some of the things that look really clean on the Dream and the Fantasy are not as clean looking on the Magic and the Wonder. For example, the last time I was on the Magic, our bathtub looked a little dingy. Was it moldy? No. Was it slimy? No. Were there water rings? No. But what it did have is it's like a plastic tub with like a coating, and you could tell that there were scratches all along the bottom of the tub. Well, when the scratches happen, it's not white underneath, it's like a gray material. I don't know what it is. I'm not a bathtub connoisseur, but there's something gray underneath the bathtub part. And so the scratches made it look like it was dirty. It looked like it needed replaced or covered up something. It just made it look dirty. So there are things on the smaller ship that kind of appear to be in not as good of a state as the larger ships, but that's just because they're older. This might bother you, it might not, but it is something that I find noticeable when you look around the ships. Oh, that just reminded me of something else that is going to be a bonus. So yes, there'll be 10 and then a bonus after the 10. All right, the second reason why the larger ships are better than the smaller ships has to do with the experience you have, but I also feel like that goes back towards itineraries. I feel like it's better on the larger ships. I feel like the service is better all around the board, all around board, like on board. Was that funny to you? That was funny to me. Okay, like all around the ship, like all across the board. I guess that's what I meant. Did I say that? I don't even know. So I'm talking about the dining room team, your stateroom host, the guest services people, the people who work with your kids. I feel like the level of Disney-esque service is better on the larger ships, and it's because of the itineraries, and this is why I think. The Dream and the Fantasy both leave from Port Canaveral like all the time. So you get a lot of people who are coming from Disney World to go on these cruises. You have the Dream, which is the 3-night and 4-night, which is great to do a land and sea adventure with. And then you have the Fantasy, which is the week-long vacation, which I guess is kind of like the normal amount that people go for vacation. And I feel like these cruises cater to people who aren't cruisers all the time or people who have never been on a cruise before. The Wonder and the Magic start from ports all over the rest of the world. Well, not everywhere yet, but not Asia. But I do think that's coming, so you heard it here first. Not really first. I know everyone's saying that. But I think Asia is coming soon. But anyways, the Magic and the Wonder, you know, they sail from like Canada and up in the Northwest. They go over to the Mediterranean. They do the Panama Canal, the transatlantic. They go up the Canadian coast on the east side. And I feel like these experiences, these cruises tend to gear themselves more towards repeat cruisers, people who know for sure they love Disney cruising. And so because of that, I feel like the level of Disney service, like in your face Disney service, is not as high on these smaller ships. On the larger ships, I feel like they're trying to make great first impressions for all the first time cruisers, great first impressions for the families who are going to go back and tell all their friends how great it was and they should go on a cruise next time they go to Disney World. I feel like it's more Disney level service, and then like the Magic and the Wonder are more like 5-star quality service. So both still great service, just the service I think is better on the larger ships. The third reason the larger ships are better is because if they're bigger, there's more things to do. This includes things like the sports simulators, not that I ever have time ever to do them, putt-putt, Remy. There are just more spaces on these ships, more things to keep yourself entertained with, more things to do if you ever have downtime. So that's pretty self-explanatory right there. Number 4 is personal to me because I really, really miss it on the smaller ships, and that is the beloved Satellite Falls. What is Satellite Falls, you ask? Well, on the larger ships, on the top deck, they have made the front of the ship for adults only, and they have taken the satellite, like the big round ball, like a piece of equipment for navigating. I don't really know if they use it. I think they actually do use it. I don't know, but it looks cool. But anyways, Satellite Falls is a waterfall that comes off of this satellite round thingy, and you can sit by the pool, and even if you're not in satellite, like in the water, you can sit around it and you can always hear the water going down, like it sounds like a waterfall. I just love it. And on the Magic and the Wonder, it is not there, and I just miss it. The adult section is nice, but it's only like one section, one level. On the larger ships, you can go upstairs and behind, like more towards the front of the ship, and so the adult section's like 2 levels. They have a glass around, so it's not as windy, so you can sit there and sleep. You can sit there and eat. I've done both of those things there. You can fall asleep under the waterfall because they have seats. I don't think you could, I mean, you probably could drown. So I'm not advocating that, but that's what I do. I mean, you just kind of sit there and all of a sudden, like, then you wake up and you're like, what? I was asleep? Number 5, the Aqueduct. I do like the longer Mickey slides, the twist and spout slides on the smaller ship, but the Aqueduct is just fun. It's unique. It's something that you can't do everywhere. The kids love it. It's cool at night. It's cool in the day. They're both different experiences. They're different experiences when you go on it with your kids as opposed to by yourself or with your spouse or your friend. I like it because in the beginning, it's like a thrill ride, and then halfway through, you just start relaxing and you can just like look out into the ocean. I like the Aqueduct more when I only have to wait like 10 minutes for it. I don't like it as much when I have to wait an hour. I do like all the ships being different, but the Aqueduct is missed when you're on the smaller ships. Number 6, dun, da, da, da. Number 6 is that the atrium is larger. Not only is it beautiful and more like grandiose and spectacular, but it's larger, so there's more space. They do events in the atriums a lot. They have the diaper dash, they have different shows, whether it's like the See You Real Soon show, or you're there for like maritime cruises or Halloween on the high sea cruises. They do different things around the trees in there. They have formal night pictures in there, the captain's receptions in there. Just makes it a little bit uncomfortable. I like that there's more options to go up higher, so you don't have to be right in the mix of things if you don't want to be in the mix of things. Just the bigger atrium is just lovely. It just makes it feel more like regal as well. The Dream Class ships also have a bar in their atrium, so... Number 7 has to do with the pool area. One of the things that I don't particularly love about the classic ships is that the pool area is kind of split around a funnel. But there's only one funnel vision, and so if you're not in front of that funnel, you don't see or hear the movie that's playing. Part of the reason I love Disney cruises is because there's Disney all around you, and I like being up on the deck, being able to hear whatever movie's on. Even if I'm not paying attention to it, like you can hear the Disney songs, and it also just kind of like brings like an atmosphere of like fun that like something's going on all the time. And on the Dream Class ships, the larger ships, the area where the funnel vision is kind of like the whole thing. You have the 2 pools, the Mickey slide, the line for the Aqueduct. When you're in line for the Aqueduct, you can turn around and watch the movie. There's just a lot more viewing room for funnel vision, and I feel like it makes it like funnel vision is like a thing. Whereas on the Magic and the Wonder, funnel vision is kind of like a thing, only if you're like within 10 feet of the screen. Number 8 will appeal to you if you like spending money. There are way more gift shops on the Dream Class ships than on the classic ships. This also means that there's more pin books if you're a pin trader. More shops means more pin binders. When you shop on the larger ships, it seems like more of an activity, like, oh, I get to go shopping. Whereas on the smaller ships, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, let me run in there and see if they have any Tylenol I can buy, and then you leave. Like, you kind of forget it's like all this cool Disney merchandise, because it just kind of seems like a little shop off to the side. Number 9 has to do with my kids and myself, and I know others will agree, but on the larger ships, you have the midship detective agency. When you're on the larger ships, you're kind of like, oh yeah, that's a cool thing. Maybe we can do that. You spend a little time doing it. But when you don't have it on the classic ships, you're like, oh, I have 30 minutes to kill. I wish there was midship detective agency so I could go around and solve some crimes. Or maybe you need something to entertain your kids while like your spouse is waiting in the guest services line. It's also one of those things that you can like do throughout your cruise. It gives you something to like accomplish maybe as a family, like throughout the cruise, to make sure you have it done by the end of the cruise. And when you're done, you're like, woohoo, we did it. If you have been on the larger ships and you have not done the midship detective agency, I suggest that you do it for at least a little bit. It does take a while, but the good thing about that is that it's only on the midship. So you're only going up and down through the middle, which is good. It's better than walking front to back and back to front all the time. Number 10, but not my last one because I have that bonus I just thought of. But number 10 is the Magic Play Floor in the Kids Club. The Magic Play Floor is basically like an interactive giant iPad, I guess, on the floor, but they do lots of different games around it. So just because it says on the navigator that they're doing Magic Play Floor, you have no idea what activity they're actually doing on the Magic Play Floor. So every time they go, it would be different. My kids say they don't miss it when they're on the smaller ships, but every time I pick them up from the Kids Club on the Dream Class ships, I get them from the Magic Play Floor. My bonus for why the larger ships are better than the smaller ships has to do with the public restrooms. I love the bathrooms on the bigger ships. They're just the cutest. They are, okay, and not just cute. Like, some are like immaculately beautiful and like designed the coolest way. Like, they all have a different design. They all have a different theme. They all have a different style. I love the teleporting ones. I love mosaics. They have some with just like sparkly marble and granite. They have some with Mickey mirrors. The ones that are up behind currents are kind of like a secret one, and those are so cool. They are beautiful and so cool. Like, I make it a point to go around and look at all the bathrooms. I have pictures of all the bathrooms. Do you have pictures of bathrooms? Like random bathrooms? No one's going to the bathroom when I take the picture. And I don't really know, like, are you allowed to take a picture in the bathroom? So like, I'm always like really sneaky about it and wait till like everyone is gone and stuff. Then also when the cleaning people are in there, I feel weird. So like, I wait for them to leave. On the classic ships, the bathrooms are smaller. They all look the same. They're just bathrooms. I don't even think they're as good as Disney World bathrooms or Disney Springs bathrooms for that matter. If you haven't checked out my video about the 10 things why I love the smaller ships better than the bigger ships, then you should go check out that video as well. It gives a lot of great information about the smaller ships. Remember, they are all great ships. If they were all the same price, I don't think I would pick my cruise based on which ship it was on. They're all equally fabulous in their own way. As you cruise more, you'll start to learn what aspects of the ships you like better than others, and that'll help you choose which one that you would prefer going on. But they're all Disney ships. We're not talking about Carnival. Oh, I think I just threw up a little bit in my mouth when I said that. Bye, cruisers!